This is problem number 6 from section 9.1. In this problem it says the weights W1 and W2 exerted on each rafter for the roof truss shown in the figure to the right are determined by the system of linear equations. So we've got this rafter here, and it says the weights W1 and W2 exerted on each rafter for the roof truss, or sorry, this is a roof truss, and this is a rafter, and this is a rafter, and this is the weight that we're looking at that's being distributed of this 500 pounds, and this is the other weight. And this equation represents those two weights for the roof truss. It says solve the system. So let's go ahead and solve this system straight away. We don't really have any prep work. We don't have to do anything. All we got to do is just solve it straight away. Now I think when we solve this problem that it makes sense for us to use elimination. And the reason I say it makes sense to use elimination, because remember we have 4 possible ways to solve the system. I think we should use elimination because we have root 2 W2 and negative root 2 W2. So we can just add these two equations together and those two things will cancel, leaving us just with W1 and root 3 W1 in the equation. So we can figure out W1 pretty quickly. So I think that's the right method, so let's use elimination there. So elimination is the method to use. We add these two equations together, and when we add those we end up with W1 plus root 3 W1 equals, and these cancel, right? Root 2 W2 minus root 2 W2 gone, and that's 1,000 here. Now when we add these together, you could get a decimal value, but it's not going to give you an exact answer. So I'm going to factor out W1 from each term. So that's W1 outside. This is 1 plus root 3 equals 1,000. So I just factored W1 out of each term, and when I factor out of the first term, I'm left with a 1 there. When I factor out of this term, I'm left with root 3. And then I'm going to divide this across to the other side. So I'm going to divide by 1 plus root 3, divide by 1 plus root 3. So W1 equals 1,000 divided by 1 plus root 3. And then we're just going to throw this in the calculator. So 1,000 divided by 1 plus root 3. 366.03, we'll just go with that. We'll round to the hundredths place. So 366.03 is the weight for W1. So now let's find W2. So to find W2, we're going to have to take this and plug it back in, and I'm going to use the top equation probably to do this. So let's put this back in to this top equation. So I'm going to say 366, well, let's just write it first. W1 plus root 2 W2 equals 1,000. Put this in, 366.03 plus root 2 W2 equals 1,000. So now we're just going to subtract it over. So we're going to take 1,000 minus that answer, and that's going to give you root 2 W2 equals 633 point, we're going to go with 97. And then we're just going to divide it by root 2 on each side. And we get W2 equals 448.29. So our first weight is 366.03. Our second weight is 448.29. And so in our roof truss, this, because it's angled at 45 degrees versus 30, this is taking more weight than this here.